Hey guys, it's Cameron Lyons, and welcome back to the next Project Life Process video. This one is week 6, I believe, of 2018. So, to get started, I'm just going to go ahead and lay out my photos, and this was actually the week of February 6th. So, I had my 6 of 6 project you can see in the bottom right hand corner. And this week, I decided I wanted to have a spot for some extra journaling. I didn't want to take up a spot for the 6 of 6 journaling. So I decided I could probably look at the pictures and know what's going on. Like I'm brushing my teeth, I'm studying, eating Subway, that kind of stuff. So I decided just to flip over that card and write a quick description on the back of the photo card instead of taking up a journaling spot. So that's what I decided to do to compensate for that. So first thing I'm going to do is, of course, cut this photo into 3 by 3, add some white cardstock at the bottom, stamp the date, and do some journaling. So it was very cold again here this week. Another minus 32 screenshot, and I was not happy that it was so cold and snowing after the last week was so nice and warm. Uh, so I was a little disappointed in that, but you'll see next week, you'll see another weather screenshot. Um, so I decided to pull over these phrase stickers from the newest, or not the newest, sorry, the Candyland Studio Calico kit, and I pulled off one that said worst at first, but then I found another one that said frozen, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. So I decided to go ahead and put it on, and I really like this because it's white and pink, which goes really well with um, the other embellishments I'm going to use, as well as that filler card on the left there. So I have a little bit of difficulty getting it into the pocket because I kind of cut it crooked, so it bulges out there at the attachment, but I make it work. Um, and I originally had that title card from an Ali Edwards uh, marketing card, but I decided to switch it out for this pattern paper that I cut down from a 6 of 6 paper pad. Now I'm going to grab some chipboards from the Candyland Studio Calico Documenter Kit, and I grab out two kind of banners. The one on the title card says "You plus me equals us," and the one on the 6 of 6 photos says "Happily Ever After." So I really like having that embellishment there in the middle of the two photos. I think it completes the card so it doesn't look as empty, but not too busy either. And then on the picture of my shoes, that was my boyfriend left me a note. So I wanted to take a picture of that in my locker. So I put a little chipboard heart on it. And then I'm going to pull off a phrase to add to it that says, "What I like about you," because I thought it was pretty cute that he did that. And I think it ties in the phrase sticker from the other side as well. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this photo into the pocket because there's nothing else I'm going to do to it. And then I'm going to go pull over my journal to see what story I want to tell on that XO card. So having that journal is really nice because a lot of the times I'm doing my spreads like a week or two after the week, so I don't exactly remember the specific details. So I can just go ahead and look at it and be able to write down exactly what I want to say, which is really nice. And also, if I can't document every story, I know it's still documented somewhere. So this card, kind of when I was writing, I was like, oh, it's going so great. And then when I went to underline, I realized I was slanting upwards like crazy, but my old physics teacher used to say, if you're writing slanting upwards, that means you're happy. So, I mean, I guess I'm happy and I'm not going to argue with that, even though it's not as straight as I would have liked. So, I'm looking at my spread now and I decide I'm going to approach the title card. And I was thinking of using my mega date stamp, but it would have been too big to fit like comfortably side by side. So, I went ahead and just used the small one. And at first, when I stamped it, I was like, oh, I hate how this looks. It's not very nice. It's too much lower than I expected and all that stuff. But once I look at it now, I realize I really like it. That I more centered it instead of having it at the top because I think it would have been off balance if it was at the top. So I'm glad for that mistake. And the lines are thin enough that you can definitely still see the date. So I really like that. And I'm going to toy with the idea of maybe stamping it on some labels. But because, like I said, when I first stamped it, I didn't really like it. But now I love how it looks. So I decided to just go ahead and stick on the chipboard and call it good. Which I chose that orange piece of chipboard actually because it matches. You can see I have some orange shorts in my laundry photo, and I was like, why are these orange shorts here? They're ruining my spread. But I was able to grab that chipboard and as well as that filler card, which able to tie in the orange and the pink, which I thought was pretty nice. Uh, so I don't really know what to do next. I'm going to go ahead and stick on that phrase sticker because I know I want to do that. And I decide I don't like that tag on the laundry photo, so I'm going to go ahead and take it off and look at a phrase to add. And this phrase I pull off says, "This deserves a gold star." And I'm like, yeah, let's put that on there because I haven't done laundry in a long time. But I don't really like how it looks, so I go to pull it off and I totally rip the first part off. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll just glue it down and it's going to be there now, which I'm not upset about it. Again, the golden rule of three. I have three phrase stickers now, so it worked out fine for me. And I think it looks better than the tag, anyways. And doing laundry always deserves a gold star. So it's not a big mistake, just funny that I accidentally ripped it up like that. Looks a little suspect in my album, but now I'm going to be rearranging because I don't want those two like 3 by 3 with the white spot underneath the picture and the filler card. I didn't want them to be next to each other, so I went ahead and switched things around. And I know I need to put something on that filler card in the middle to embellish it. And I really like how the cork looks, but it doesn't really fit in with the rest of the spread because I didn't like how the cork looked on the laundry picture. So I'm going to go back and forth between a couple things, and I decide to pull over my stamps. These are all my Ali Edwards story stamps, and I love them so much. I love them having them in this binder, just like a Ali Edwards album that you can flip through and easily see them. And you get a lot of use out of them, I feel like, if they're more accessible. So I'm going to pull out the heart stamp, and I'm looking at the square stamp that says heart this. And I'm thinking that I'm going to stamp it on white cardstock and then cut it off and put it on that filler card there. So oh, never mind. First of all, I'm going to stamp in white ink on this picture of my Tim Hortons and studying. It says the heart of the matter because I was really lucky that day that my sister got me Tim Hortons in the morning when I went to the science building to study, and then my boyfriend brought me Tim Hortons in the afternoon when he came to study. So I got two free meals on that Sunday. So it was really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and just journal about that, how appreciative I was because I don't really take the time to cook for myself a lot. So when people help me out like that, it's something that gets documented, I guess. So uh, now here is when I'm going to stamp that heart this after I decide. Sorry, but the cork it's not working. I like the circle how it mimics that XO one, but it just the cork for me it's not really fitting into the spread as well. So you'll see in a second, I'm going to go and take it off because it's not what I'm liking. And then I'm going to uh, try stamping that square heart this now. And once I've stamped it and cut it out, I'll try looking at it on the card, but it doesn't exactly match the rest of the layout either to me. So um, I wonder, you could tell me what you think maybe in the comments below if you think the heart matches or if what I end up with looks better. But I think it's just too small, it gets lost on the card. So I pull back over my stamps and I start looking through and I'm looking for circular things to mimic that XO and preferably circular things that are black. So I pull out this detail stamp set and it has a circle that says paying attention to life details and it's black and the whiting will be white when I stamp it on white paper, so I think that might be exactly the perfect stamp. So I go ahead and stamp it out and I stamped it once off camera and it didn't impress very well, so you'll see I'm gonna really push down hard on it to make sure I get the nice impression and it works, except I didn't realize where my paper was and I got some ink on it, so that's fine, just a silly mistake, but I'll still be able to use the front side of the paper. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out and put it on the card and I'll realize, yes, I really like how that looks because it mimics the XO, kind of bookmarks it, and it's a little more bold, and I really love it. So I'm going to pull over some Stampin' Up. I'm not really sure what they're called. They're just like little things that lift it up a little bit so it's not as flat. So I'm going to put like 5 or so around the edges to make sure that it doesn't get bent when I put it back into the pocket. And these ones are pretty easy to peel the adhesive off. I know I sometimes have difficulty peeling things off, so I'm thankful that these ones come off quite easily. So once that one is stuck down, I'm going to go ahead and slide it into the pocket and call my layout good. And so I'm really excited to share this one with you guys because it's definitely my second favorite layout um, of the year so far. My first favorite layout is coming up in the next process video. I'm really excited to share that one with you too because I think it looks really good. So be on the lookout for that. Oh, here I just added some journaling to the empty space there, and I think that completes the card really nicely. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you like it as much as I do, and I'll see you again soon.